got the Jeep back. Yoshi is going home. It's been almost a month total without the Jeep at this point. It's really turned into an ordeal. 2 separate dealerships, almost a month of total time, but he's finally back and everything seems to be good for the time being. So let me tell you what they did. So the second dealership inspected it and they said it was the water pump. Now it's really odd that I replaced the PCV valve and the noise totally went away for like a day or 2 and then came back. Very odd, but that's what happened. So I took it down to this other dealership and they diagnosed it and they said it's the water pump. It's not just the pulley, but the water pump itself is failing and we need to replace it. Okay, cool. So they had to order a water pump. It was like a week to get a water pump and they replaced the water pump. But they claim that while it was sitting there waiting for the water pump to come in, the auxiliary battery failed. Now I hadn't had any trouble out of that whatsoever, but that's what they said, that while it was sitting there, the auxiliary battery failed. So they put one of those on the Jeep. But in the process of putting the auxiliary battery in the Jeep, they somehow created a short and blew the entire TIPM. TIPM. I don't know what it stands for. I think it's the Totally Integrated Power Module or something like that. It's basically the fuse box under the hood. Completely blew it. So they had to order one of those. And that was another several days to get one of those. So this has been a major ordeal, unfortunately, but finally got it back. I'm out here driving it right now. It's 86 degrees outside. So if it's gonna start chirping and squealing, we're gonna find out here very soon. But so far, it seems to be doing really well. So fingers crossed. I'm gonna drive it on down the road to my house, and then we'll see. Yeah, buddy, she's 100% quiet now. So yeah, I tell you what, I'm happy to have the Jeep back. So I have the service notes here. Actually, what they call that thing now is a PDC, for Power Distribution Center. It's the same thing, just different terminology. The TIPM terminology is actually from like back in the early 2000s. The Ram trucks were really notorious for having the TIPM just fail, and then you had to go replace the whole thing. So I guess this technician must be old school because he still calls it a TIPM. But apparently the new terminology is PDC, for Power Distribution Center. Anyhow, same thing. It got replaced. So just looking through the service notes here, it says they did some circuit testing from the PDC connector C1 to the aux battery. It tested good, the wiring tested good. Checked battery voltage at the PDC connector C3, found no battery voltage present. Proceeded with voltage checks at the PDC C4 battery feed post and verified the battery voltage was present at the C4 post. So basically, after all of this diagnostic procedure, they determined that the PDC had an internal failure due to an open, blown, non-serviceable 150 amp fuse within the fuse array. So that part is not serviceable separately. If you blow that thing, then you got to replace the whole shebang. So what they're saying is basically that it had a fault because that fuse obviously was blown, and so it wasn't even charging up the aux battery. They put a new one in there, but it still wasn't getting a charge, and that's when they started tracing, trying to figure out what was going on. I don't know. It seems weird to me because, like I said, I had no issues whatsoever when I dropped the Jeep off at the dealership. No lights on the dash, no trouble starting it in the morning. None of the stuff that they list in here was happening to me.
And I don't drive the Jeep every day. Sometimes I drive the truck. Sometimes the Jeep sits here at my house for several days at a time, and I had no trouble. So I don't really know what all that's about, but whatever. I didn't have to pay anything for it, warranty fix, and everything seems to be good to go now. So I'm happy about that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this will be the last repair that has to be done on this thing. You know, we were talking about this, me and some guys today. These 3.6 liter Pentastar engines are actually excellent engines. You know, this thing's been around for 15 years now. It's on Ward's best engines list in multiple years. It's a great engine, you know, and this is my 5th one. Out of all 5 of them, there's been 2 of them that had water pump replacements. And other than that, 0 mechanical issues whatsoever with any of the Pentastar engines that I've had. The last one that I had here in the driveway had 202,000 miles on it, and it was running flawlessly the day I traded it in. So I really believe in this engine. I know it can go a long distance. I saw one yesterday on the forum that had like, I think it was 600,000 miles on it. That's not a typo. It was somewhere around 600,000 miles on one of these Pentastar engines, and it finally had an internal issue. So they had to tear the engine apart. But I mean, these things can really go the distance if you change the oil frequently, use a good oil, you know, maintain them properly. They can go the distance. So hopefully no more issues with this thing and we can just enjoy it now. So I'll end the video here by saying that the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot a video regarding this confusing 5,000 pound towing capacity that allegedly was put on these Rubicon trims starting in the 2024 model year. It's been kind of confusing. A lot of back and forth out there on the internet about whether it's, you know, really rated to tow 5,000 pounds or not. So we're going to dive into that in the next video, and I'm going to hook up a 5,000 pound trailer to this Jeep and we'll see what happens. So that's coming up pretty soon. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to go drive this thing now and enjoy it. Talk to you later.